Lakeland Public Television's Common Ground is brought to you by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund.
Hi, my name is Suzi Rhae. I'm a sculptor here in northern Minnesota, and I've been working in metals and casting for pretty much 20 years overall, but welding for the last 10. And I was taught by my friend Al Beliveau how to weld steel. My first step is to go dumpster diving. I use almost all recycled materials. So this is stainless steel that came out of an industrial company that cuts, and it's their waste. This is glass that came out of a recycled glass company. This is recycled waste out of a metal company. And the two-part epoxy I used to make these faces also came from industrial waste. It came from the pipeline. So everything here is salvaged except for the paint. Everything I use has been saved from a landfill. It makes me feel good, and plus I like taking something that was somebody else's garbage and making it beautiful. I think of these as giant pieces of garden jewelry. I try to capture the eye in a piece, and you want an eye to travel around the piece and come back in. So on this piece, I'm looking at the big circle, brings you in, brings you around, brings you back in again, and then back in again. So you want the eye to travel around the piece and stay in it for as long as possible, and that makes it more enjoyable and creates movement and energy and appeal. So this one would be called Chained. It's going to go into a bicycle show at Bridget's Cross Pub in August. And the whole idea of the show was bicycles, and so I took a bicycle chain and then chained in this beautiful piece of aqua glass. And it's going to be a wall hanging, so it'll hang up on the wall like that. But to me, the chain reminds me of a piece of seaweed or, you know, driftwood up on a beach. So, you know, I like the natural rust with the pretty shiny that kind of complements each other, the contrasting rough and smooth, shiny and dull. So that one turned out kind of pretty. This one's going to be called Geared. And so it's a bicycle gear that glass got wrapped up into. So just small wall pieces. But, you know, people are throwing bicycles away every day at the transfer station. So the materials are out there. You know, if you feel inspired, you see something in something, don't be afraid to grab it and play with it. See what you can do. Trying to capture something into a piece is my favorite work. If I can create a casting around a rock, it's really fun, but it's time consuming and messy and it's tricky. Something being held in the work quite often is a metaphor for me, a metaphor of being captured or held, or your spirit being put up on a pedestal. The movement and the shape, those are all things that are going through my head on a regular basis. A lot of times my titles are chained or captured or, you know, randomness. My work's unique because I'm a mixed media artist. I'm combining my background of painting, which I got my bachelor's in, along with ceramics, which is my sculptural background, and turning that into a sculpture, you know, format. I'm really a mixed media artist, so I'm always taking a little bits of here and there and combining as much stuff as I can, so that keeps me a little different. I pretty much go with the flow, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work, but you never know unless you try. It is hard, but it's not that hard. It's a little scary to have the sparks and the fire and the welds, but they can do it. And most schools around northern Minnesota have great welding shops. And the girls, I want girls to know You can do this. If your dad's got a welder, bug him some Saturday or Sunday afternoon and say, Dad, teach me how to do this because it's really fun. But you can do it. You know, don't be afraid to try it. You can go make great stuff.
If you enjoyed this segment of Lakeland Public Television's Common Ground, consider making a contribution at lptv.org. If you have segment ideas pertaining to North Central Minnesota, contact us at legacy@lptv.org. Common Ground is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund by the vote of the people on November 4th, 2008.